Hi. One of the biggest challenges that we face, and especially as people who are trying to make it in life, is how do we invest? How do we make money? You're probably earning and you're like, okay, now I have a source of income. Maybe you're saving some of it. But when it comes to the question of investment, most of us have no idea on what to do, on how to use that money, where to invest, with whom, what to invest in. And honestly, it is one of the things that has kept us failing to be able to grow, failing to be able to make money. Is that you? In today's conversation, we are going to address that issue. This conversation is sponsored by Cornerstone Asset Managers. They are enabling people and institutions to experience financial well-being and prosperity. Cornerstone deals in unit trust funds, wealth management services, and cash management solutions for you. Get in touch with Cornerstone Asset Managers on the contacts indicated, or send me a message on any of my socials and I'll connect you directly. Thank you, Cornerstone Asset Managers, for being part of this conversation. Welcome back. I am Jemie, and this is a place of growth. We believe that it's never late to turn around and be the best version of yourself. We're definitely work in progress and moving towards getting better. So today I have an amazing guest. Someone that is in the investment world, someone I have known for quite a while, and I have seen him grow, like from small beginnings, and I'm so excited to present to you because his story is going to inspire you and is going to make you realize that you can invest sincerely. You can make it in life. It's not hard. You just have to take that step. So Brian, you are welcome.
Thank you, Jemie.
Now I want you to introduce yourself to the viewers and tell them whatever it is that you want to say about yourself.
Thank you, Jemie, once again for hosting me on your show. My name is Alinda Brian, and the head of marketing and distribution for Cornerstone Asset Management, a financial investment, call it a financial solution. I have quite some good experience in investment landscape in Uganda, especially when it comes to the unit trust space, and also some bit of personal investment, what it means to grow your finances, what to invest in, how to grow your capital base, and also elevate yourself as a person in terms of financial goals and future developments.
Yeah. And guys, I told you I told you that today we are going to talk about how to grow our money, and that's why we have Brian here, because he has seen it and he's in the position to tell us where not to fall and where to rise. And before we even get into the details of the conversation, Brian, what has stood out for you lately? What's that thing that you've been thinking about of late?
Well, for me, Jemie, I'm a person who loves investing in myself, and I've been planning a lot to travel. I love traveling. It helps me relax my mind. It helps me open up my mind. When you travel, it's when you realize there's opportunity out there that you can pick up. When you travel, you get to see different cultures.
That's true.
You get to see how people live their lives. You see all these, developed markets. How do they operate? And each country I go to, I tend to read their story, their background, how did they reach there. So it's an important thing for me to, go out there and see what the world has to offer, and then also come back and, pick a few ideas here and there, put them together, and then apply.
That is very interesting. And I mean, traveling exposes you to many things. Guys, don't just be in your village, move out. Even if it's within Uganda or outside Uganda, it opens you up. It gives you a different perspective to life. You have to make sure that you move.
Yes.
Brian, people think maybe all these things you're talking about, these are dreams you've always had. But there's a point in life when you can't afford them, but then you're working towards them. And the perception that some people have is that they think for you to travel, you have to be rich, you have to have so much money. But sometimes it is the small steps that you take to be able to enjoy the beautiful things in life. So I wanted people to actually know that you, the brand that really has a passion for travel, you've come a long way.
Yeah.
At one point, you were a little boy trying to make it in life, trying to go through the challenges of school and all that. So what was your story growing up?
Wow. I don't come from a really well-to-do family as per se, but I believe that in life, anyone can make it in life.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just about the mindset and also how you place, yourself strategically, and it shows from even when you're growing up.
That's true.
For me, come from a family of 9.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we are 9.
Okay.
And we were brought up by a tough dad who was a no-nonsense person.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, in his toughness, we loved him so much. He taught us how to, be hard, face life in whatever challenge it is. Unfortunately, my parents passed at a young age, so I got to understand that life is hard. You have to, maneuver through hardships in life. But in those hardships, you must have hope. I learned how to iron my own clothes at a very young age.
How old were you?
By P1, I was ironing for myself. You can't believe it.
I am challenged.
So P1, I remember. P2, my dad taught me how to, tie my tie.
Yes.
So I went to Ntinda Primary School. That's where I started my P1. My nursery was Matters Way Nursery School. Those days were in Ntinda. Things were still nice, So I would arrange my tie, my stockings, my shoes. I knew how to polish my shoes at an early stage.
Wow.
So it helped me become responsible early. So by the time I was in P3, I started taking on, leadership roles. You want to be a class monitor. You want to, I started doing storytelling in class.
Interesting.
So every time they would call upon kids to tell, stories, I would put up my hand and I'm like, so those who know me, I'm a good storyteller.
Wow.
So primary, I finished at Nagro Catholic School in Namburu. We entered into secondary life the way it is. We went through bullying. I went to I studied a bit in Kabale, and that side bullying is normal. So they would welcome senior ones to a feast of bullying. So they would bully you until
I don't know, do schools still bully? It's very unfortunate. I hope such behavior is no longer there.
It's dying out, but for us, we went through it. Again, it also helped shape us. As you know how to handle a bully, you know how to, contain your anger, because, someone bullies you, you can't fight back.
You cannot.
Because you're young.
Yes.
But you contain and you know how to, maneuver through it. So it really helped me a lot, because then I know how to handle myself in face of challenges, in face of hardship, certain circumstances. You don't need to overreact. You need to calm down, reassess the situation, and then move. So finished secondary, again, working as a team was very crucial for me, because even in secondary, we used to, study and read
those discussion
groups.
Yes.
Discussion groups. Then we had what we call we arranged ourselves depending on where each student was coming from. So if you're good in terms of grab, if your parents would give you enough grab, so we know that one is our treasurer who would keep everything. So we distribute, you know, sugar, we know this one is going to handle sugar. Grab, you know, this guy is going to handle grab. Pocket money, you know, we have the Mugaga in the group. Then our had a guy in terms of brains, we know that this is the person who is going to discuss for us. So yeah, so we had all the resources.
You know, that's so nice, Brian, to say, because you can see that most of the virtues we have, they are coming from down and we're growing with them.
Exactly.
It's not habits that we pick up in our old age, and I'm happy to hear that.
And in secondary, in my S2, that's when I stood for my first leadership role. So I stood for health prefect.
Okay.
And I had this, I hated dirty toilets. And me, as like, I am a guy who loves some bit of neat things. So I would go and, you know how our toilets those days used to be in secondary. So I stood for health prefect and I won.
Wow.
Unopposed.
Wow.
I didn't have that much, but I stood and I won.
You didn't give out the sweets in campaign.
No. You know, also, one thing I've come to appreciate is sometimes people just look at you and like you.
That's true.
You won't give anything, not monetary value or what, but the way you speak, the way you look, someone just looks at you and likes you.
That's
like
correct.
Someone will look at you, Jemie, you've not said anything. They're like, I love that person. I like that person.
That is true.
Yeah. In S5, I stood for entertainment prefect. Now, I'm a guy who loves music. I was able to stand for entertainment prefect and I won, still unopposed.
Definitely. Was it the same school or different school?
No, this was a different school. Passed well and university, and I went to Chambogo University, did my first degree from there. So life is starting to build up, you know.
Yes, yes.
So life at campus is a different ball game. I started working before finishing school.
You are one of those lucky people.
You see, life pushes you to the edge and you have to think outside the box.
No, that's true.
Yes, so I had to get out of my comfort zone, and there was a restaurant in Tinda where I was a waiter there while I was studying, you know, serving. I got to know how to learn. The chef was my friend. Got to know how to cook. Yeah, so from there I met someone who opened up my doors because I talked to this person, I expressed myself, like, I can do this. So I gave them my, you know, papers, went, did the interview, they took me on. So that's when I started my banking career.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was the best thing that happened, or has ever happened to me. Because it's that journey that now shaped everything that later became of me.
Yes, and I like your resilience, Brian. For you to even be at the university and then you're like, I need to survive. I need to make ends meet. You're not sitting crying to your fellow students, you know, I don't have this, I don't have that. And I've seen how you take on the challenge. So how was your working world? How was it you being able to now get money and then you're like, okay, so, you know, at that age when we get money in our first jobs, we want to spend it. I remember like in my first employment, you know how much I used to earn? Like maybe $170. Now put that in
$170.
It was too much money.
That is crazy money.
It was too much money. I didn't know what to use it for.
Yes.
I had so much money because you see, I was staying with my sister. So the only expense I had was transport. And then now you have so much money, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So you buy this, you buy that, and maybe that's what some people do, and yet that's an opportunity for you to start investing that money.
Exactly.
Yeah. As someone who has been through banking, I mean, you've been working in money, you've moved into financial markets with Cornerstone, and you see it's something that's common, that people will be working in money, but they don't have the money. It's not obvious. It's not obvious that because I'm a banker, I'm helping people invest, that I can actually do it. How has it been for you having to work in that industry, but also saying, I have to benefit from this experience?
It's my story and background that pushed me to the, I would call them to the ages to do what I had to do. You know, life and your background pushes you to pick up survival skills.
That's true.
So in whatever case, you have to win.
Yes.
There's nothing like bats, there's nothing like second chances.
No.
One door opens, you go in there and you never come out.
Yeah.
So when that banking opportunity opened for me, I held on to it and I was like, this is it. I started earning. I remember my first salary was 600,000 shillings. And Jemie, you don't want to know what 600,000 shillings meant at that time.
Yeah.
I worked with Stanbic Bank, and I remember my first role was customer information consultant. Getting that role was not a walk in the park.
Yes.
It was, I had to prove myself. And there's a lady who introduced me to the banking world. She's called Cameron Stella.
Hi,
Actually,
Stella.
after I need to go look for this lady and just gift her.
Yeah.
Because it's from her that really I got to, you know, get this opportunity and also prove myself that, look, I can do this.
Yes.
So by then, customer information consultants were people who help and, you know, direct clients in the banking hall, you know, in lines, what papers, fill it like this. I did that job with every fiber in me.
Yeah.
You survive on your own to grow yourself in the career world.
That's
you know?
true.
So I did my best. I excelled in that role, and I remember I was by then I was at Garden City branch. Met so many people. There are people who meet me and they're like, "You are a live example that anyone can make it in life."
You are, Brian, sincerely.
I would put on that sash that had customer information consultant, but with a suit. I would put on my suit. You know, it doesn't matter where you are. You need to shine. You need to be seen. You need to be recognized.
Yeah, that's true.
So whereas people despised that job, to me it was everything I'd ever wanted. And I did it with a lot of dedication. Sometimes the system would go off and clients would, you know, descend on you, this bank, what? So I'll be like, guys, so I would, that's the time when my patience would be tested. Remember my background and the bullying I went through.
Yes.
This is now when it comes into, you know, strengthen you as a person.
Yeah.
So,
you know, I can relate,
yes.
because I've been there. I worked in a bank and I've been in customer care.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so after that, I was recognized and I was elevated to customer care. So now, Jemie, when I became customer care service personnel, now that's when my investment journey started.
Okay.
I remember, I mean, working in a bank, the best opportunity you get from, you know, working in a bank is that they give you unsecured salary loan.
Yes. And at better rates.
And at better rates.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you're working in a bank, you must make you must make a wise decision, especially if you're going to access this money.
Yes.
Because it's available to you. So when it comes to you, you can either decide to buy land, like what most people do. You can decide to buy a car.
Like what I did, you guys.
Now remember, my young boy, I don't have a family. I'm earning my 600K. I've rented my car, 1-bedroom room. Yeah, I feel life is good. I'm studying. I'm paying for myself tuition. I feel, I'm somewhere. So when now this opportunity came up to access, a bank loan, every time you have a chance to access money, I approached the experts just to get an understanding. Yes, I'm a young boy. I have all these things. I can get a car. I can get land. I can get all these things. So someone tells me, you know what? This money, of course, once you get it, your 600K that you've been getting is going to start
being chopped.
It's going to be chopped.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's better you invest in something that will give you money, then later. Of course, I wanted a car. I remember we used to go to work. It would rain, and in the banking life, there's nothing like it rained.
Yeah.
You have to show up and on time.
On time and happy.
Come rain, come shine.
That's true.
That is how it is.
That's true.
So sometimes it would rain and you can't afford to lose your job because it rained. So you'd rather show up when you're wet.
Yeah.
So sometimes I would just jump on a bike, go in the rain, show up. Hey, Brian, you're wet. Hey, at least I've showed up. So that's the banking world. So I had an option of buying a car, but I said, it's not yet the time. So I got the money and I bought 3 bikes.
Wow.
I bought 3 borders.
This is a young guy, guys, still single, and he decides to buy bikes.
Yes, so I bought, that was my first business I did with that money I got from the bank. And every business has its challenges, Jemie. You see, the transition now from just earning and now running a business, you are a student. Now I have these 3 bikes I need to manage. I had riders that I need to follow up the payment. So because of my survival instincts and from my background, I mean, remember I told you, your background shapes how you're going to survive.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so there's no room for mistakes.
That's true.
You make a mistake, you have one opportunity. Make a mistake, you're gone.
That's it.
So I buy these bikes. They were paying me 10K every day. So that was 60K. For 6 days. The 7th day was theirs. Yes, so 180K a week was not little money.
It was a lot.
Yeah, so now at least my 600K that they were deducting because I was paying back the loan, at least I had cash flow from the bikes.
Yes.
So it would help me still, survive, pay my tuition, pay my rent, put on a suit, because again, in this journey, you must invest in yourself. And for me, that is me. You must invest in yourself. Jemie, if you met me for the first time, before I say anything, you appreciate how I look. Before even I say anything, you look at me and you're like, this boy looks like he has some sense in him.
That is true.
Then now, after appreciating the way I look, you immediately have a mental judgment of who I am.
And you see, the way you look. People think it's the heart. Of course, yes, but the way you look gives someone an impression.
Exactly.
Which could be the right impression or the wrong impression, but it really gives them an impression. And you could miss out on some good opportunities because you're not taking care of how you look.
Yes.
Guys, we have to be mindful. Yes, but this conversation is sponsored by Cornerstone Asset Managers. They are enabling people and institutions to experience financial well-being and prosperity. Cornerstone deals in unit trust funds, wealth management services, and cash management solutions for you. Get in touch with Cornerstone Asset Managers on the contacts indicated, or send me a message on any of my socials and I'll connect you directly. Thank you, Cornerstone Asset Managers, for being part of this conversation.
Yeah, my bikes were bringing in some money, and but now business has its own journey and challenges. Now this is when I started experiencing the ups and downs of business.
Yeah.
Now, anyone who has done business of bikes will tell you how hectic this business is.
It should be.
There's a time when I was losing my mind. You know, the money is no longer coming in, you're running up and down, the guys are hiding from you. I was like, wow. So all this, the little did I know that it was a training ground for me to, get to have a feel what business people go through, what it means to incur losses, what it means to make hard financial decisions when you're in a business. Should you pull out money? Should you quit the business? Should you think about something else to do? All these things were running in my mind after like 6 months. The first month's business was good, the bikes are new, guys are paying. So you think all is well until things start
Going down.
You have a job, you have to manage this, I have school. It was a bit hectic. But eventually, after some years, I had to take a decision to sell the bikes. Because you see, as you're doing business, as you're learning this financial business arena, all these things come into play. That you can start a business, it's doing well. How do you manage it to continue performing the way it's performing? How do you then position yourself should it fail? Because any business can fail. And for me, I got tired of running after these guys. So one guy got an accident, bike was badly damaged, I had to repair so eventually I decided to sell the bikes. I sold the bikes, and I got that money. I remember my brother was doing some sound business. So I started slowly investing in sound, because personally I'm a music person. I love music. But now on the business side, because our dad was a bank as well. And as he was working in the bank, he was doing music. He was
so it flows in the family.
Yeah, it's in the blood.
It is.
So yeah, he had a music system, and he used to play some music on weddings and what. So it's in us, that music thing. So I invested that money in me and my brother. We had bought some equipment. It still didn't go well, so it had its ups and downs. But remember, I'm still young in my career. So after my customer care role, later I got elevated into executive banking.
So all this time you're still in the bank?
Yes, I'm still in the bank. And also doing business. So now I'm elevated to do executive banking, relationship management. So now my skills are getting enhanced. I've gotten beaten already in my business. So I kind of had an idea of what the business world is, because you need to get your fingers burnt to learn. how to handle money, how to handle
And not
capital.
quit. Some people
Yeah.
quit at that point.
Yes.
And,
So
and I'm glad, Brian, that you didn't quit even when business is not working. You're still like, okay, let me try something else until I find something that can actually work for me.
exactly. So I go into this relationship management role. I served for about 2 years. Now I'm a banking, expert. I know about banking.
Yes.
I finished school. I'm one person who believed that I need to marry early, so that I settle. I settle early, and I get to start building myself, because I mean, any man, you can't be alone. So
Of course.
yeah, so in there I was able to marry early, and went through also that stage, and I stabilized. So later I left Stanbic, and I felt it was time for me to move on. But from the experience I had gained, I left Stanbic knowing that I'm a better person in terms of skill, in terms of business, relationship, financial wellness, investment. Yeah, so I felt, yeah. And in life, Jemie, you need to also know when the right time to leave. You need to know when to leave. You need to know the right time for you to now elevate yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, so I felt it was the right time for me to leave, and I joined a company called Blue Pulse. It's a transport company. That is where I got the idea of starting my tours and travel business.
Yes.
So from that, I applied in KCB, and I joined KCB as a business banker. Now remember, I'm one guy full of all this knowledge, zeal. Remember, I'm picking up a lot of, financial knowledge, business knowledge, relationships. So as I become a business banker, from my experience in Blue Pulse, I get an idea of using whatever I have to make money. So I remember I bought my first car.
Okay, finally.
Immediately, and man, having a car is also another good thing, because then you have to. It helps you really in mobility, and it makes life easy.
Yes.
I don't regret it, but my belief is that even that car that I had, it had to make money for me. I kind of had an idea how the transport business operates, the ups and downs, so it wasn't new to me, but I got this enhanced skill from Blue Pulse. Yeah, so I had to figure out a way of making money from my very own car.
Yes.
So there were people doing airport pickups, airport, drop-offs. So I would work from Monday to Friday, sometimes Saturday. So on the weekend, I had to deploy my car because I needed extra income.
Yes.
And for you to make money, you first look around what you have. So the only asset I had that can make me, quick cash was my car. And for me, I'm one person who does not believe in one source of income. Like when you depend only on one source of income, you become vulnerable.
That's true.
Yeah, you become vulnerable, and anything can happen.
Yeah, that's true.
So my salary, I looked at it and I'm like, yes, there's this salary, but it's not enough. So I'm one person who believes that salary will never be enough. So from when I was young to where I had reached, I was like, I need more. I need more and more. And that's the mentality I've always had. If you receive your end month salary and you look around all your needs, the needs that you need to take care of, family, school fees, all these things, surely salary cannot be,
Can
maybe for a woman, but for a man, you depend on your salary, you're finished.
Yeah.
However big it is, you must have at least 3 channels, 3 income channels.
Guys, pick that. 3 and the bare minimum.
The bare minimum. It helps you because, you know, work as the way it is, you can be shaken, you can lose your job, then what else?
Yes.
And we live in a world of, you know, as you progress in your career stage, you reach a certain point and people are looking at you in a certain way. So you don't want to be there and then come down this side. So how are you going to maintain something you've built for some time and then all of a sudden you're back on the streets?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing, it's, you know, and to build confidence, you know, as we also progress, you're building certain relationships of people who are trusting you, who are seeing you progress. When you eventually go down, you lose certain credibility. Unfortunately, that's how our society is.
Yeah, that's it.
People don't want to associate with you at a certain level. Then, after a year, you're on the streets looking funny. So people want to, they will distance themselves from you. And these relationships we pick up as we go up in our career stages. They are relationships you don't want to let go.
Yes.
So how are you going to maintain that balance of life is realizing early that one income stream is not enough for, especially for us guys. You need to have as many, whatever little money it gives you, it makes a difference. Even if it's 10K a day. Because even if you lose your job, you're able to stay afloat.
Yes.
That even when you're talking to people, yeah, they can believe in you. Yes, the man lost his job, but yeah, he's progressing, because that's what people want to see. Yeah, so I started doing airport pickups on the weekend. So I would work Monday to Friday, then Saturday, Sunday, you know, using my very own car to, you know, pick up people, to, you know, hire it out, you know, so that I get that car extra coin.
Money.
Yeah, so remember I had done that, then I had that sound thing. So I'm getting some money from the sound business, I'm getting some money from from my car, the airport pickup. But I was, you know, getting some money and, you know, progressing. Because then with that, now you can think of things like, okay, if I have this money, then I can start building. I, you know, can deploy some money here and there, save, do this, save, do that. Yeah, so in KCB, I did relationship management for some time, and with business banking, you're helping SMEs, the retail business, to, you know, grow, to, you know, realize their potential. You're breaking, you know, the credit structure to them, you know, you analyze their business, lend to them, you see them grow, and then, you know, that's what we used to do. Yeah, so from there, I did that for about 3 years. Then I moved into now financial markets, what you would call investor services, and this is what propelled me to become an investment advisor. An investment advisor, a financial advisor, who, like, I can analyze and know this is what you should invest in. This is what makes sense, you know. So, because in that space, we're dealing with pension spaces, we're dealing with the unit trust spaces, we're dealing with private equity. That's when I got to learn all these things to do with shares. How do shares work? How do bonds operate? How do people prepare for retirement? You see how the journey.
This conversation is sponsored by Cornerstone Asset Managers. They are enabling people and institutions to experience financial well-being and prosperity. Cornerstone deals in unit trust funds, wealth management services, and cash management solutions for you. Get in touch with Cornerstone Asset Managers on the contacts indicated, or send me a message on any of my socials and I'll connect you directly. Thank you, Cornerstone Asset Managers, for being part of this conversation.
Yeah, so now I get to understand, look, you can save for retirement, you can work out an investment plan, financial instruments. It's just not about land, it's not about fixed assets. You can use your money to make money. So I gained all this knowledge. I did this for about 8 years. So I get to understand this investment landscape. This regulated space of investment, where now Uganda Retirement Benefits Regulatory Authority comes into play, because that body regulates the pension side, okay? Then we have the collective investment schemes, which are regulated by Capital Markets Authority. So for us, we're working as custodians and also corporate trustees. So there's a lot that happens in there.
There's a lot.
So you're supporting fund managers who are taking financial decisions to invest and make returns for different companies. So we get to learn about what is happening in the East African market, the investment opportunities in Kenya. I went to Rwanda to just understand the Rwandan market.
And I like the fact that you're not even just looking at the Ugandan market, but you're able to explore and see what are other people doing out there that I'm able to also benchmark and do. And you guys, I'm loving this conversation. I know time is moving so fast, but you know what? I'm going to invite Brian for a part 2, and he's going to tell us about the detail of investing. I'm going to link it on this video, and we are going to talk about the real stuff that you need to do to be able to make money. Thank you so much, Brian.
Yes.
This was very insightful. Thank you for sharing your story.
Yes.
Thanks, guys, for watching. Until next time, bye.
Thank you.